Hello and welcome to Junk Journal July for 2023. My name's Leigh, I'm from Australia, and during the month of July I'm going to create something in my little accordion journal using the prompts provided. These are going to be quick projects that I hope will motivate and inspire you to do something in your own journal every day. This is an open challenge hosted by Meg from Meg Journals. Okay, let's see what today's prompt is and get creative. Hi everyone, it's Leigh here. Thanks very much for joining me again. So happy that you're here. We're up to day 30 of Junk Journal July, so only one more to go after this one. And the prompt for today is in the garden. I've got this beautiful napkin that I'd like to use as a background. I've got a couple of things here, just a little journaling card that's really simple that I might adjust in some way. A die cut butterfly, and that's been cut from a paint chip. So one of these things from the hardware store. I've got this one that is another die cut, and that's from another paint chip. Got a couple of other things. Got my trusty little text stamp, my glue's here. Everything's ready to go. And let's get the book out. Hope you're all well, happy, and creating every day with a bit of luck. So we are got 2 pages left in this book. Now, if you saw my last video, I was talking about, actually it might have been a couple of videos ago, I had about how to keep your book strong where it folds. And the best way to do that is to have a double layer of paper where it folds. So say you had a piece that came to about here, then bring your next piece right over and then have an overlap on the next join. Because your book does come under strain on those joins, or not joins, the folds. And if you're using wet mediums in your book, you may find that it will fall apart on the folds. So that's my advice to you if you're making one of these. I will start by just putting a line. I'll mark my boundaries. So what I did with this one to strengthen it up is I used masking tape, and I just masking taped that area there, and then I've painted it with gesso. So it will receive anything that I want to put on top of it now that it's got a layer of gesso there. So I'm just going to put this Stabilo pencil all over my desk instead of all over my book by the look of it. This line here, I'm putting that there so I know where I can work to, or where I need to work within. So I'm going to get a piece of this. Now this is only double layer, so it's quite easy to get it apart once we get the section we want. The easiest way to do this, if you don't want to use scissors, is to use one of these, like a wet paint brush or one of these watercolor brushes. Actually store the water in the actual brush. So I think I'm just trying to work out which bit I want. I actually like this section here with that plant, the way it goes up. So what I'm going to do is just take this here, and I think I'll just glue that down onto the next day. So, and I'll just work over it on my next project, which will be the last one, and the prompt for that day is nostalgia. So, yeah, it's hard to believe how fast this month has gotten by. And we're already starting to think about Christmas, which doesn't really excite me. It's a scary thought. I've only just gotten over the last one. I feel like I could just glue that down and nothing else. I wouldn't have to do anything. It's such a pretty piece of napkin. Okay, so I'm just going to use some glue stick to get that on with. glue stick's coming off really well today. The moisture in the glue stick is activating the Stabilo. Okay, so I'm just going to plonk that on there like so. Okay, so that's extra bit over on this side is going to help strengthen that as well. Alrighty-o, now what I want to do is get rid of that a bit later on. I'd like to put some gesso on this. I've just got my gesso here. Just want to knock it back a little bit, just so everything else will stand out a bit more. So I've been having some really quite interesting questions come through in the comments, and somebody asked how do I manage to use watercolor paper, watercolor paint on paper that's not meant for watercolor. And you can pretty much paint watercolors onto any paper you like. The trick is to not have the paint, don't allow the paper to get too wet. So when I paint on like old book page and that sort of thing, I'm actually only using the barest minimum amount of water to get the paint moving, and that way I don't ruin the paper. Okay, so that's going to be an area that I want to stand out more than the others. Okay, so far so good. Now I'm going to give that a quick dry off. That's dry now. I want to put some text stamp on there. Okay, so I'm going to put some of this in. That'll do for that. Now, I'm not sure whether I will use that or not. I don't think I will, because it's going to cover up too much of that, so that can go to the side, but this is something I would like to put in there. But I'd like it to be a little bit darker than it is, so I'm going to colour that with some ink. So I'll try Forest Moss. I think that'll work okay. So what I'm going to do is just put that on this phone book, and I'm going to do this. Could do it the other way around, I guess, but then I'll get my fingers sticky and dirty. So this is actually working quite well. Let's see what difference that makes now. It stands out a lot more, doesn't it? Okay, so I'm going to put that in there. While I think about it, I'm going to take a bit of this off. So that can go there like that. And then I can have another piece of it up the side. Across the bottom maybe. Make all the paints come off it. Wonder if I should do it on the other side. Okay, let's try the other side. So I'm just fiddling around with this at the moment. Something else I've got on my desk, which is this builder's tape for joinery. It's for when you're for drywall plastering. So I'm going to use about a bit of that in here. I'm going to stick that down like that, so that's holding that all together. I reckon a cluster would look nice on that. I think the best thing for me to do is to glue the pieces on, and then I can cut them down. Oh, that looks better there. I'm trying not to cover up this yellow flower because I really like that section. I'm going to go over this with some walnut stone. Just doesn't stand out enough. If I had a darker piece of paper underneath it, I think it would be better. But it's not really standing out very much. I think that's better. Still feel like it needs something under there. So I may use a piece of this. Like that. And like that. I still can't make up my mind about this piece. No. It's either got to go there or it's got to go there. I'm just trying to see in the monitor which looks better. Oh, sorry about my microphone cord the other day. I didn't notice it because it's above my head. I can't see it. And yeah, it was hanging down for about 10 minutes before I noticed. And it would have looked like I was touching it all the time, but I wasn't. It's just that my lapel microphone is on my right shoulder. So every time I move my arm, of course it's making the cord move, even though I couldn't even see it moving. I don't know what twigged me onto it, but eventually I did notice. When I was doing the edit, I tried to get rid of it as much as possible without chopping out too much of the video. As you can see, I've decided to go over that with some black ink. I didn't like the way it just sort of blended into the background. I like that better. I want to put something on there. I'm thinking some, like cheesecloth or something. That's going to go under there. That's going to go on there like that. Right, I'm going to sew that together. I'm just going to go to my machine. I just had an idea. I'll show you what I've done so far. Is I've sewed that together and left a big mussy-tussy mess of thread there. But I'm going to emboss that. I've got a black. What do you reckon black would look like on that butterfly? I think black. Where is it? Here it is. Okay, give it a try. Now, I don't want to get the embossing ink on that fabric. If you're enjoying this video and you're finding value here, you can support me by giving me a thumbs up. Thank you. Okay, we'll see how this goes. Doesn't look too bad actually, because I didn't use a huge amount of the embossing powder on it. So I'll do this other one. find this quite handy. It's Stupendous Boss Gloss Clear Embossing Ink. Just going to dip that in the excess powder that's left over from the last bit. Put the lid on this before I knock it over, and this is Wow Primary Ebony Regular Embossing Powder. Okay, that looks quite nice. And then I've got that piece of grid. I was wondering whether I should emboss that. And should I do it in black if I do? I'll do it on the back, and then if I don't like it, I can just flip it over. So if you're watching my videos all the time and you enjoy them but you're not already subscribed, I invite you to subscribe to my channel. It doesn't cost you anything. And the more subscribers I have, the more likely it is that YouTube will show my videos, put them in suggestions and that sort of thing. And that all helps to grow my channel for me. So we're just going through a bit of a growing stage at the moment. But I find that always happens when Junk Journal January and Junk Journal July is on, and then numbers start to drop off again, which is a shame. It's lovely to have you here. It would be a shame for you to go just because the month is over. Yes, I like the way that's looking. That looks better, doesn't it? That's really nice. Loving that. So I'm going to pop that on there. So that's what I've got so far. Now, do I need to put anything else in there? I'm not sure. It's got a little bit of tulle there. Let's pop that in. It's a clear thing. I don't really want that. Don't mind the bit of tulle. So I could just staple that on there. Could if I found my stapler. Can't be too far away. Only used it a couple of days ago. Oh, I won't be stapling that on because I can't see my stapler anywhere. Okay, so I've got some bits and pieces of book spine in this little box. Wouldn't mind putting a bit of that in. It's a nice bit. I like that bit, it's nice and messy. Is it too big? A little bit, isn't it? Go back to this one. Well, here's a smaller piece. It's got a little bit of the headband on it. But I think that should go in there. Maybe that piece could go in there, that could go on top. So I do that. Alright, I'm going to glue that down. So it's quite three-dimensional, that. So I really only need to put the glue on there. So a piece of card. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to put some of these, or one of these. I really like this stamp. Yep. Gonna have to cut a bit of this off here. because it's going to catch in the fold. So hold that down for a bit. Okay, so this bit, I'm just going to put a whole heap of the glue down. Okay. Just dabbing the excess off with this hand wipe. Okay, so I'm happy with this. I'll still keep picking this up. There, yeah, that's a bit. I reckon a piece of that would look nice in there instead of the tulle. Okay. Well, I'm not going to do anything else on that apart from some splattering and a label. Alrighty, so let me write the label. I'm telling a lie. I want to just to below it around the edges because I really like the way that looks. I love using it. We dip it into the water before you draw with it, and it makes a really nice effect. So it goes on really dark then. And I'm not using too much water, just enough to get that wet and blooming. Now, I said gold splashes, but I wonder gold or black, and I'm thinking white might actually look better. I've used white there. Look at my watercolours. I actually don't have to use the metallic ones, do I? Got some nice colours in here. Something bright for a change. Okay, what have I got in here? Medium yellow, maybe. Ooh, brush is a bit dirty. And put a bit of orange in with that, just to deepen it up. Well, that's a nice colour. Can you see that? That's pretty. Just going to darken those flowers up while I've got that paint on the brush rather than have it go to waste. Makes them stand out. Okay, so I'm going to try and get my fan brush in there. Let's see how this goes. I think I'm going to need to put some gold. Use this one. There's still quite a lot of paint left in this, even though it looks like it's nearly empty. Still quite a bit there. Okay. Okay, and I really think some white would be good on there. So this is acrylic paint, this one, and it's just been watered down so it can be splattered. I'm going to dry that off. So that's dry now. I want to add some more wetness to it. I've got some black drawing ink here, so I'm just going to do something like that. A bit more down here. Yep. That'll do. I still haven't done my prompt yet. So here we are, number 30. Okay, so I'm just going to ink that a little bit. Oh, get off there. That can go there. Alright, I love this. Tell me what you think in the comments. Tomorrow, or when I do day 31, I'll probably tell you how to enter my competition. So I think I'll be giving this book, this completed book, away, as long as it hasn't got anything in it that I can't send overseas, you know, like any plant material or anything food related. And I know that I do have that bag that I used on this day here, which is a pie bag, and it may have some crumbs in it, so I just need to check that that wouldn't be a problem. But yeah, if it's not this, it'll be something, some other sort of journal is the main prize, and a couple of other little prizes to go along with it. So yeah, I love this. Tell me what you think in the comments, and I will see you for day 31. So don't forget to give me a big thumbs up, thumbs down if you don't like it, and let me know in the comments what you don't like so I can improve my videos. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not already subscribed and you watch me all the time. And we'll see you for day 31. So happy crafting, and cheers from Australia. Hooroo. Thanks for watching.